Hi and welcome to ZoomTV, the show where we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. Now, as you can see, I'm surrounded by 5 sexy ladies in what I'd have to say is the best man cave I've ever been in. On today's program, I'm going to take you inside and introduce you to the owner.
Well, these older cars, Aaron, are very hard to drive, mate. They're nothing like the modern-day supercars. They got very hot cockpits. The air conditioning doesn't work. It was there for looks only. A lot of the switches and gauges don't work.
And thanks to City Toyota, Ross Duncan's going to introduce you to the workmate you're going to want, and that's the Toyota HiAce.
From the outside, changes have been made to give the HiAce a bolder, stronger look.
And if you're looking to feed your passion about things at Zoom, I'll give you the details of our 3 favourite live events thanks to United Fuel Injection. So I hope you're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Zoom TV. Now, my mum always said to me, Aaron, you are who you hang out with. And right now, I'm going to tell you, I feel like a rock star. Tim, you already were my rock star friend. You've got your Ferrari, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you've been surpassed now by our new friend, or my
Danny.
new friend, Danny, who has a man cave and 5 sexy ladies.
Thank you very much.
Now, Danny, where are we? What is this place?
Well, this is my home, and it's something that I've dreamt of for a long time, Aaron, so I always wanted to have a nice man cave. So when I bought this house, it had a tennis court in the back garden, and I thought, well, the back garden was a tennis court, and I thought, who needs that?
Don't need it.
Turn it into a man cave.
Spending time with both of you, forgetting what a Ferrari's worth, you have an amazing passion for a Ferrari.
Yeah, I think it's the, I don't know, for me it's the amazing engineering, and it's just the beautiful lines and the shapes, and it's like a piece of art. And when you drive it, you know, you can't help but smile. The best time to drive, I think, is early morning when there's not much traffic on the road and when you can stretch its legs a little bit and just really enjoy it. It just puts a smile on my face. I don't know about you, Danny, I'm sure it does for you.
Well, a little bit. Well, these older cars, Aaron, are very hard to drive, mate. They're nothing like the modern-day supercars. They got very hot cockpits. The air conditioning doesn't work. It was there for looks only. A lot of the switches and gauges don't work. The lights, you don't drive them at night. The lights aren't really very good, are they, Tim?
Not really.
But yeah, we're talking supercars here out of the 70s and 80s, the world's first supercars. They're just massive machines, and to me, it's more an event. When I take it for a drive, it's actually an event.
Now, it goes without saying that your cars are head turners, but what I find even more impressive is the memorabilia you have in the room.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. Well, I wanted to create a whole theme. So it was not just a garage with cars in it, and I wanted to just put all the right signage and the old signs. So I've been collecting them for a long time. Some of these signs go back to the 30s. A lot of them are the old enamel signs, very sought after and very collectible today, and they just form part of the feeling of the place. I try and have only original. I like everything to be original. I don't like copies, and even the Bowsers and the pumps and all that, I keep them as original as possible.
It's fair to say that what you've actually got here isn't a man shed or a man cave. It's almost like a man museum.
Correct,
isn't
mate.
it?
That's what I call it. It's my museum, absolutely. Because this stuff will live on beyond me, and it'll be handed down to my kids, and it'll just form part of the family museum.
Now, Danny, Tim's been my, I suppose, Ferrari guide throughout the years. One thing that blew me away was discovering that there's a lot of the car, if not all of the car, is handmade.
Absolutely, yeah. And a couple of the cars here are also, there's a lot of aluminium in them. So you don't want to go pushing them if they break down, because you'll dent the panels. But yes, they're handmade, hand-beaten. You begin to appreciate the artwork that's gone into designing that car.
I think one of the things with these cars is they're built for speed and they're not built for comfort.
That's right.
You know, everything about the Italian supercars is all about lightweight, high performance, and comfort is very low on the priority list.
Very low, yeah. And luggage.
No luggage.
No luggage.
Limited amounts of luggage. but hugely powerful. They stop well, they handle well,
Yeah.
and the driving experience is great. But you don't want to go for a 3 or 4 hour drive in them. You want to go for a short, spirited drive, and then come and put them away.
That's
because
the way,
it's a workout, you know.
Absolutely.
Shoulders, arms, legs.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I tell you what, it's just so nice to see you guys just talking and forgetting I'm here. Is it because I drive a wrap?
It's because you've got no hair.
Don't know what you're talking about, Tim. Now, before we go to the break, later in the show, you're going to walk us through and introduce us to each of your beautiful ladies. What would be your favourite bit of memorabilia?
Okay, yes. There's an old gas pump over there that is unrestored from the 1930s, and it's even got a stained glass, and it's just the way it was found. And I just love it. I just think it's fantastic, and it works in here because everything is so pristine, and that is just the way it was found in the back of some junkyard.
I tell you what, I feel like that gas pump at the moment, fellas. That's how I feel. After the break, Ross Dunkerton's going to introduce you to the brand new Toyota HiAce, thanks to City Toyota. And later in the show, I'm going to find out which one is Danny's favourite.
Running a business in today's world normally means some sort of conveyance is needed. And 9 times out of 10, it's a van. Now, I've always said, if you're going to buy something, look for the best. And that's why we're looking at today, the Toyota HiAce, Australia's #1 van. Now, these workhorses have been around for many, many years. And way back in 2005, they released their 5th generation. Now, from then, they've made a number of tweaks. But this, the latest model, offers much more. From the outside, changes have been made to give the HiAce a bolder, stronger look. Toyota have done that by increasing the radiator grille opening, restyled the front bumper, and redesigned the headlights with daytime running lights incorporated. All this means you come up with that "I'm ready to do the job" look. Oh yeah. Now, Toyota have said they've been listening to their customers, and they have suggested this area should be more car-like. Well, they've come up with the goods. Now they have 2 very comfortable bucket seats separated by this very handy centre console. Another creature comfort is the addition of audio and cruise control switches on the all-new 4-spoke steering wheel. An LCD multi-information display gives time, outside temperature and odometer. Also, there is a fuel usage indicator telling the driver if they are driving economically or not. Now, in this engine bay sits a trusty 3-litre turbo diesel. Also available, there is a 2.7 petrol. This rig is connected to a 4-speed auto, but there is a 5-speed manual also available. Its payload is 965 kilos and has great loading capabilities, a huge lifting tailgate and the ever-handy left-hand sliding door. Now, the ride is good and the engine performance is impressive. There is a little bit of engine noise, but you've got to remember you are sitting over the top of the engine. And after all, this is a workhorse and a good one to boot. The handy thing in this vehicle is the rear view mirror. It's the built-in reversing camera. Great for getting down those narrow lanes. Wayne, we know that Toyota is the brand, but why buy?
Because Toyota has been based on QDR, which is quality, durability and reliability, and that's what really makes up the Toyota brand.
Some fast facts.
Yes.
Warranty.
Warranty is covered by a 3 years and 100,000 kilometre warranty.
Quickly, your favourite feature?
My favourite feature is that no longer does a tradesman have to feel like a tradesman when he's in the front. He's got a beautiful new office out the front which feels like a passenger car with a lot of great creature comforts.
Cheers. Over the last few minutes, you have seen the advantages of owning a HiAce van. So if this is what you're looking for in a van, call into City Toyota in Perth and take one for a test drive. More info can be found at citytoyota.net.au.
If you're passionate about anything that zooms, there's no better place to feed that passion than attending a live event. Thanks to United Fuel Injection, here are our 3 favourite live events coming up soon. If you're in Queensland and you have an impressive machine, then bring it down to the Spring Classic Show and Cruise to win some great prizes. There's heaps of trophies and cash up for grabs for the best ute, street machine, hot rod, paint job, Australian vehicle and plenty more. Plus, all money raised on the day goes towards the Ipswich Hospital Special Needs Ward. It's a great cause and a great event on Saturday the 26th of September at the Ipswich City Centre. And in New South Wales, it's an event all about Aussie muscle at the HSV Owners Club Muscle Car Show. Open to all HDT and HSV cars, this event is all about celebrating iconic Australian style and grunt. Entry is free, so bring the whole family down to the Paul Wakelin Motor Group in Campbelltown on Sunday the 27th of September to catch all the action. And for Victorians into classic American style, the Chevrolet Convention Show and Shine is the place to be. Come and see some of the most iconic cars of the 20th century and enjoy a great family day out with food and trade stalls and plenty of activities for the kids. Entry is just a gold coin donation. It all kicks off at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday the 27th of September. So they were our 3 favourite live events coming up soon. Thank you very much to the people that told us about their event. Now, if you've got one coming up, all you've got to do is go to the website, click on the Get Involved tab, tell us about the event, give us some videos, maybe some pictures to help us put it on the website, and we will do the rest. We'll give it a plug. We may even come along thanks to United Fuel Injection. Welcome back to ZoomTV. Now, earlier in the show, you met my new best friend, Danny, and of course, my friend Tim. Well, now it's time to meet their friends, these beautiful ladies. Danny, talk me through this car.
Okay, beautiful little car, this one here, 1977 Maserati Merak. It's a lovely 6-cylinder V6 carburetted car.
Now, Tim, are you a fan or?
I do love the Maserati Merak, yeah. It is just a classic shape.
And this is the SS, the more powerful one.
What made you buy this car?
I just thought Maserati are a long way behind Ferrari and Lamborghini in value, so the investment potential, but also I grew up as a kid loving these cars, always wanting one of these.
Okay, now I wanted to start with this car. It's time to move on and meet one of the Ferraris, guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've got to look at the Ferrari. I've got to tell you now, this car reminds me of, I've got to say, Magnum PI.
Aaron, that one over there is Magnum PI, the 308, but we'll get to that. This is Don Johnson. This is Miami Vice, mate.
But this is a classy Don Johnson, because I think he had the original Testarossa, and this is the hand-built version. This is the serious car.
That's right.
V12, good brakes, handles well, is an amazing piece of equipment.
But I've got to tell you, this particular Ferrari, when you just see it moving, and it's just, you know, the use of the colours and, I suppose, the vents, the veins, it gives it that kind of...
Well, it's classic Pininfarina design, and the Testarossa was a very famous car for Ferrari, and then they just remodelled it in the late 80s with a Testarossa, and then what this is the last of the Testarossa, and as Tim said, hand-built, better braking, better engine, better suspension, bigger wheels.
This car is a beautifully refined car if you put it side by side with the old Testarossa. And the Testarossa was a very agricultural Ferrari, had small brakes, had a big engine, didn't stop, didn't handle particularly well. It was a pretty rough build, where this is a really beautifully refined classic V12 Ferrari.
Absolutely.
This is a work of art.
Okay, well, I'm sure Don Johnson, well, he felt like a man in one. I'm itching to get the Magnum PI, though. This is Magnum PI.
Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Very cool car.
Tom Selleck made this famous, and the reason that I don't have the roof on this at the moment is this is seriously designed for 5'7" Italian men. You can't drive it with the roof on. Hence why Tom Selleck never had the roof on.
Tell me about it, Tim. Give me the update.
This is just, I mean, this is probably one of the best known Ferraris. It's just a classic V8. These were very popular sort of into the 80s, and just a really good, honest car. They're pretty easy to drive, very reliable, and just a classic car.
Okay, guys, enough talking about, well, I suppose the Selleck. I want to talk about the car that has caught my attention since I walked in. This is like your favourite pair of shoes, your jeans that you just look amazing in. This is the car, well, that I'm happy to look after you if you ever need someone to drive.
To me, this is a wild beast. It is an extraordinary car. Lamborghini Countach, V12, loud, obnoxious.
First car with scissor doors. Oh. Yes. Batman doors. First car in history to do 0 to 100 in less than 5 seconds, 450 odd horsepower, and as Tim said, it's wild. It is a wild car.
I think that this car's perfect for going and grabbing a coffee at a drive-through coffee because the window comes down this far, so you can put your hand out to grab the coffee, and you're looking at the coffee and you can't actually get it through.
Get it in.
Are you telling me
you'd have to open the door and then sort of like grab the coffee out of there and.
So what you're telling me is this is all you've got to get in and out of the window?
That's right. That's how it was designed.
Now, getting to the end of the collection.
The best.
The Ferrari.
Save the best to last.
Yes.
Tell me about this car.
Oh, this is a beautiful car. I struggle between these two as to which is my favourite, but this is a magnificent car. 1978 Boxer, 5 litre, 12-cylinder, flat 12, carburetted car, tubular frame chassis, so it's actually a race car. And I do want to show the engine because it is a work of art. So what we have here is 4 triple-barrel Weber carburetors for the carby people amongst your viewers. So 4 triple-barrel Webers, so every cylinder has a carby throat feeding it.
Just one for you, Danny, which is why red? Every single car is red.
I hate red. Hate red. But the thing is with these cars is they're so rare and so difficult to get that when one comes up for sale, you really got to take it. And it just so happened that every one of these, when they came up for sale, was red.
OK, well, it's time to hit the big question. Which car can we go for a drive in?
I reckon we go for a bit of a wild run in this one here, actually. Hey?
There you go.
That's your car, isn't it?
I'm sending you mental images like that's the one I want to go in.
I figured.
Now, after the break, we're going to go for a drive in a car that just is beautiful. Now, if you've got a beautiful car or anything that zooms, we'd love to hear from you. All you've got to do is go to the website, zoomtv.com.au, invite us along and show off your collection. Welcome back to Zoom TV, and on board this week's Zoomaholic 1985 Lambo. Danny, this is awesome, this car.
The Countach is regarded as being the world's first supercar. So this car is from 1985, but the first one's from the 70s. It's pretty Spartan. It's the way the Italians designed them in those days. It's just one massive engine and a gearbox and big wheels.
What is it that makes you love this car?
Oh, just the massive raw machine that it is. It's just a beast to look at. It's a beast to drive. It's a piece of motoring history, and it's a very rare car. There was this particular model, there was only some 600 made for the world, only about 80 or 90 right-hand drives. So this is one of those.
It's just raw, isn't it?
It's just raw. You'll hear it now. We need to be on a racetrack to really get the full rev range of this car. We only went to half the rev range. So yeah, it's a handful because it's so powerful. It's got great tyres, great fat rubber, and it's got really good brakes.
What's your favourite thing when you drive the car other than that? I don't know if people at home can actually appreciate the thumping vibrations that are coming from behind us. Listen to that.
It's so much harder to drive than a modern day car. There's nothing computerised at all. You've got to make every decision. You've got to do everything. There's no systems that'll correct your mistakes.
Okay, now it's time for the Fast Five. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. What was the first car you ever owned?
A 1971 Valiant VG Pacer, orange in colour.
So, how do you move on from the Valiant mate to this?
The Valiant, well, you see, I was just a good Italian boy living in an Italian suburb in the 70s.
Yeah, so, you got to have the Val.
Got to.
What car would you want if you could have any car other than the cars you've got?
Oh, really? Wow. Oh, I reckon I'd want to go for something really wild like the Bugatti Veyron. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be...
I'll tell you what, when you get the phone call through, we've got one available, I'll tell you what, the missus is going to make sure you don't get that message.
Yeah, that's right.
Or what is your opinion of the worst car? The car that if you got the phone call on, you wouldn't take it.
Oh, the one that if I got told, Danny, do you want to come and buy this old square Volvo, I think I'd have a problem with that.
What car do you currently drive now as your daily drive?
Well, I've got a Range Rover Sport, which I've had for 5 years now, and...
You should try a RAV.
I should try a RAV.
What is your biggest fear? Final fast question.
Jumping out of a perfectly good aircraft, mate. I just couldn't do that.
I don't understand. See, that's what... We've been invited to a few things. Don't invite me, I'm not going to come. If anyone invites me to go parachuting, I think it's just stupid.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, mate, you've been a champion. Thank you for having us through your man cave. Thanks for showing us your beautiful collection of cars. And thanks for the invitation to come out. I've got to thank Tim, but I've got to thank you as well. Thank you very much,
Pleasure,
sir.
Aaron. Hang on, mate.
I'll wait for you, mate.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Now, I've got to tell you, I've had a ball today. Those guys are pretty special, along with their cars. Now, if you have something special, a man cave, a car, a jet ski, a boat, a bike, a plane, we would love to hear from you. All you've got to do is go to the website, zoomtv.com.au, and you never know, we might come and meet you. Plus, if you've got an event coming up to do with anything that zooms, tell us about it. We'll put it on the website. We might even make it one of our featured live events, thanks to United Fuel Injection. Now, whatever you do this weekend that zooms, make sure you do it safe. And that's a wrap.